Okay, we are dreaming of Moongate. So this is the plan for our Moongate. I'll show you where I think it's gonna go. I'm not exactly sure yet, to have a rough idea. But before I decide, I'm going to build a frame and then place it in different spots to see where it might work. So there's gonna be a walkway right there. We're gonna have the Moongate like right here in front of these two trees, in between this little tree right there, in front of the banana tree, like right there. So that's one place. And then the second place would be past these two trees, like right here. So it's a little closer. The only reason why I think it might be right now, I'm thinking about behind the tree, is because this is like a little parking area. So if it's behind the trees, it's definitely going to be out of the way. If it's here, it might be a little too close, maybe. But I mean, I think it should go in front of these two trees. That's what we planned for in the past. So I think so. The only thing that I'm not sure about is if I do it in front of these two trees, I have to like back it up a little bit because I don't want to hit those roots. And if I do it right here, this tiny tree has to come out, and I don't want to do it. It looks really nice, but yeah, that's the only thing. I'd have to sacrifice it for the Moongate, and maybe we shouldn't do that. We'll see. If I do end up removing it, I'll try to dig as big of a hole as I can so that I can move it to a different spot, because I mean, at this point the roots are probably really big. If not, if I do remove it and it dies, I'm going to plant 5 trees to replace this one tree. Anyways, I have the materials, I believe. So Senor Hugo took me to the like a wood deposit place, and I bought this bunch of these, and then I bought a terciela, which is kind of like plywood, a little nicer than plywood. So the idea is that I'm going to put this distance from here to here is 1.60 meters. Here to here is 2.20 meters. So that's the height of the whole thing. And so I'm going to build half the shape right here. So I'm going to put a nail right there at 110. Then I'm going to draw like a circle and cut that out, and then use another piece of plywood to do the frame. And then these will go in between like the ribs. Like I'm gonna cut this much, and then they'll get placed like that. So I think I'm gonna do that before I move on. Okay, so I have a mark right there at 1.10 meters from here to the top, and then 1.10 meters from here to the sides. So now I'm gonna put a nail in there, or a screw, and draw the circle. Let's see what happens. All right, we got our hole dug. I dug it down to where I got red dirt, because the red dirt is more compact. The top like 10 centimeters is all organic matter, kind of, so it's very light. And you know, this is going to be a really heavy stone gate, so I needed to dig it pretty far down. So right now what I'm going to do is I have a bunch of these big stone. So this is what I'm going to use for the actual like MOONGATE itself, these flagstone. But for the base, I'm going to use these bigger stones, and I'm going to try to well, I'm going to use some cement mix, mortar mix, because I want that base to be really strong, because I don't trust this really sandy soil. You know, it doesn't move very much because there's quite a lot of vegetation here. So when it rains, only like the exposed ground like this will erode. But when it's got trees all over the place, it doesn't necessarily do that. But still, it's very soft, so I want that base to be really strong. So I'm going to use a cement mix, and build up a base right up to this line that you might not be able to see. So it's about 25-ish centimeter tall. That's going to be the base, and then on top of that I'll add the other stone. So yeah, I would love to dry stack it, but I've never done any like fancy landscaping type things, so I'm a little bit afraid that if I dry stack and if I do it incorrectly, if say somebody bumps into it, it might fall. So I'm going to do a hybrid dry stack mortar gate. So anyways, I got a lot of these big stones to break apart, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, I got the hole dug. I used the stumper. The base should be nice and sturdy. So now I'm going to, before I start, I'm going to order more rocks, and because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna run out. Anyways, yeah, I'm going to start laying the rocks with cement. Okay. I guess now I can say that we are 93.5% done with The dome house. I can't believe I'm saying that. Um, Let me give you a little update of what's going on, because I didn't film most any of it except the part that I was doing, which is this one right here. This is the base for the MOONGATE. It's about 30 centimeters deep and about 50 centimeters wide. More than that probably, but at least 50. And I'm going to extend this out a little bit. I'm gonna knock out some of these rock right here, and then have this side kind of glue into that side. The reason is that I don't know what I was thinking. I have the width correct, but this needs to shift this way a little bit, because the gate door would be about right here, and it needs more room this way to, like, for the curve support to come down. I don't know what I was thinking, but I'm gonna do that tomorrow. So I have another meter that I'm gonna add to the end. Looks like we're about to get a really big storm. Dark clouds brewing up above. I'm setting up the I need to bring the form and place it where I'm going to do the gate. So I was just digging these posts, and I'm gonna brace this metal square pipe right there, about whatever distance from the ground that I need to be. Make sure they're level, and then I'm going to place the form right there and then brace it up in all the ways that I can. But for now I'm gonna do this first, and then see if I can move that form by myself. I'm all alone today, so we'll see what we can do. Okay, so we have the frame ready for the form to sit on top of. So let me explain, I guess, a little bit of the math that I was trying to figure out. So the form for the brick, not the bricks, the stones to lay on is this guy right here. And then it is the gate is gonna be 2 meters and 20. So from the top of the circle to this is 163, and then to get to 220 we have to do 163 minus 220 is 57. Yeah, so 57. That means that we have to add 57 centimeters from here. That the distance is 57 centimeters from here to where the other part of the circle would be. So if it was here, it would go like this. Okay, so I guess the one from one side to the other, from here to there is 57. So that means that the MOONGATE, the gate starts on this stone. So I'm pretending that this is the first part of the MOONGATE, which it is. So from here to the top of this should be 57 minus the thickness of this stone. So we have, so we have 57 to the top of this, but then we're subtracting 2 centimeters the thickness of this guy, and that's basically how thick this is. So we got 57 something and 55.5 to the bottom of this, so that's 1.5 centimeters, 2 centimeters, and this is about 3. So that just means that the form will go right here, how this is laying, and this is level. So now all I have to do, hopefully before it rains, is I'm going to put some more. This is just being zip tied right now, and then there's a screw right down there holding this piece of square rectangle pipe. Now I'm just going to use some wire and tie all the corners, and then have some cross bracing this way, that way, all the way, so that this doesn't sway, it doesn't move at all once I have the rocks on top of it. So that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, I think we are ready to do this. The frame is set. It's level this way, this way. Hopefully it'll work. I built this kind of a thing. It's kind of basically shows me where the rocks go until about I get to here, and then I'll have to transfer it over, or I'll just get a string to pull it to see where the next rock goes. So let's see if we can do this. It's about to start raining, so I think I'm gonna just get my hands on this just a little bit, see how much I can do, and then we'll go from there. So let's see, let's give it a shot. I've thought about everything that it's, you can't really think about. I've never done this before, so not really sure what to expect. But I think I thought about everything that came to my mind. But we'll learn as we go on, and if we do this nice, if it comes out good, then I guess we'll have to do more of these in the future. It's always been a dream to do a MOONGATE. I've seen plenty of them on the internet especially, and I've always been fascinated by them. So let's see if my own creation will work out. Okay. Okay, I ran out of rock, so this is where I'm gonna stop for today. Allegedly, this was 10 meters of rock or flagstone. They sell it by the meter. So I used up 10 right here. I don't know how true that is. So I'm gonna stop and continue tomorrow once I get more rock. So I got a pretty good amount done, about an eighth of the way there. That side needs completing. I don't want to do any more rock work today because my hands are like super, yeah, my fingerprints are pretty much gone. So I'm not going to do this area today. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm going to let my hands rest. Good morning. So I'm waiting for more of the flagstone because I'm out completely. So while I'm waiting for that, I'm going to extend the foundation about a meter that way. It's not, I need more room to support the structure from about here. This angle's better. So from about here, the rock has to come down like this to hold the sides together, because the shape wants to bow outwards, and you gotta brace it right at the horizontal and maybe a little bit higher up. But anyways, I gotta do that before I can stack more rocks. So I'm gonna go get started on that. Hey, so looks like we're about to get a storm over there. This is how much I got done today on the MOONGATE. I didn't work on it all day. I actually went into town to run some errands. Yeah, I think it looks good. Let me show you. So that's what we got done. Man, it's really scary to do this, because I just think of like any kids or something that comes and wants to climb it. This thing's gonna tip over for sure. I mean, it's gonna be really strong, but it's not really meant for horseplay. So if any kids come, we might have to like really watch them. But yeah, I think it's looking pretty good. I need a lot more rocks. I used up everything I had. Looks nicer from this front, I think. Since I'm already looking at this like this, I think I'm going to extend that wall all the way to the fence, and then that all the way there. It's going to be quite a bit of work, but I think it'll look cool if I close it all in. Okay. Crazy storm coming. House is looking good. It's about 2 p.m. now. We had a bit of rain earlier, so it couldn't work. Plus, it didn't have any of the rocks, stones. So now we have the stones, and we have probably about 4 or 5 hours of daylight. So I'm going to go ahead and continue, and hopefully I can get like a good chunk of it done today. Hello. I'm just laying on the bed of gravel. It's pretty nice. It's like getting poked by 1,000 pieces of rock, which probably is true. Riveting content. Nice. Okay. All I have to do now is add the keystone. I think that's what they call it. Basically a big piece that goes in the middle and that glues everything together, I guess. So this is what the Moongate is looking like. Let me go further actually. Okay, so that was quite a bit of work. I didn't I thought it would be a little easier to choose all the rocks, but it turns out it's not very easy. I have a bunch of these tiny pieces, but they're too small. I was trying to choose some of the bigger ones, but I got a lot of small ones in this delivery, so actually sorting them out took a little bit longer. So I guess if I was going to do this again, I would maybe go to the store and sort all the big ones, because all the big ones are the good ones. The small ones are kind of useless. But what I'm gonna do actually is I'm gonna use the small ones to extend this side of the wall. I guess this the wall that's holding this out. So if you can see, the parallels right there, so I need these to go like this way. So I'm gonna use most of these small ones actually for that. I'm gonna do that before I remove the form. I think I might go a little bit higher on the left side also, but it's looking pretty good already. Parallels right there, so I just need to go like another foot, and then on that side I gotta go another 2 or 3 feet higher. Okay, so yeah, I need to add the keystone right there. And then I think I have 2 decent pieces that could go in there. The first one, first one's this one, which might be kind of perfect actually. So I'm not gonna touch it too much. And then the next one is this one, which they both came from the same piece. This might be a little too small. So I'm gonna try this big one, see what happens, and I think we might go with that one if it works out. Okay. Okay, so MOONGATE is complete as far as this goes. Well, since it's my first time building something like this, I'm not exactly sure how it's supposed to feel like, but I must say that it does feel a little bit a little bit wobbly. I know that they have to all settle together once I remove the forms, but there's a couple of spots that maybe I should have done differently, especially like right here, right there. I think some of those pieces are a little bit thin. So a bit of a bummer here. What happened? So the MOONGATE fell. Basically, what happened was that we were removing the form, and as we were taking some of the form away, the stones were settling. You could hear like some creaking, and I was on the front side of it, like hitting it with the stick so that the form would like fall out. Then it became like fully supported on its own. That was really nice. But then, you know, there's a couple of the wooden like ribs that were still scraping the sides. So as we were taking it off, one of the helpers heard a sound that was like a creaking sound, and he got really afraid, so he let go of the form, and then the form like fell over and bumped into the arch and knocked it over. So that was kind of a bummer. It was working, but yeah, kind of sucked to have worked for like 3 days on it and for it to not work like that. Anyways, the plan now is I'm going to take it all apart, all the rocks, everything, and I'm going to do it with cement. It's going to be a little bit easier to stack things because the cement is you know, you won't see some of the edge, like the gaps that you see like that. With the cement you would hardly see those, and so it'll be a lot stronger. You know, this is strong this way anyways, but up there when you have the arch, these stones are not super flat. Like for example, this one right here, you could see that it's not a flat stone. So trying to stack those together, you have to shim it up like in all different ways. But yeah, I'm just gonna take it down and do it with cement. Kind of a wasted like 3 days, but it's the last project here anyways, so yeah, what are you gonna do? Anyways, at least I could say I did a MOONGATE. It just didn't last for more than 30 seconds. Plus the cement, I think I'll be a little bit more at ease knowing that people will walk through it, and it's going to be super strong, so it's not going to fall over. Because the MOONGATE, the one previously, it was standing, but you could tell that like if you knocked into it too much, it was going to fall anyway, so it's probably for the better that it happened. But still kind of a bummer. I should have done it with cement from the beginning. Anyways, all right, that's for tomorrow. It's getting too late now.